Good morning, I am Senior Coach Steven here with Coach Tyler from Central Athlete. Today we're going to be talking about tempos. Tempos is something that all of the coaches here at Central Athlete use with pretty much every single one of our clients. Tempos are a useful tool because they can help kind of dictate the dose response from a certain exercise. And it's a pretty large discussion item here at our gym because they can get a little bit confusing depending upon what movement the tempo is for. And so the biggest kind of confusion is using the tempo or applying the tempo with a pushing movement versus a pulling movement. And today that's mostly what I want to go over and help you all clarify. And so, all right, so we're going to be using a barbell strict press with the tempo 4-2-X1. Okay, so the X is just going to mean push, and so the movement actually starts here on his shoulders when he unracks the bar. So he's going to push really hard up. Take 1 second at the top, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull for 1, 2, and press. Pull for 1 and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull for 1, 2. Give me one more push. Pull for 1, down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. And like I said, the biggest confusion is when you go from the pushing movement into a pulling movement, and how the tempo kind of is a little bit backwards, but it's all relatively the same. Meaning, the first number is always going to be when you eccentrically load a muscle. Meaning, when you lengthen and load a muscle, that's what that number is going to represent here. Okay, so on the overhead press, the 4 seconds down is as he was lowering that bar into his front rack. Why it's a little bit confusing with a pulling movement is because you're loading when your arms extend away from your body, because you're going to be pulling that bar back into your body, and the muscles will shorten when you pull. So that's where it gets a little bit confusing. And so we're going to use the exact same tempo, but we're just going to use it now with a pulling movement, and you can kind of see how it's a little bit different, but it's also the same. So we're going to set up in a bent over barbell row. He's going to hinge over, take a great position. We're going to start with an X, so he's going to row really hard. Pull for 1 and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull for 1, 2, and squeeze. Hold 1, down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1, 2, squeeze. 1, down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Tempos are a really great and useful tool because, like I said, they can help kind of dictate the dose response of a certain exercise, but they can get confusing. But just know that the first number you see is always the loading phase. So you just got to think about the movement and what part am I loading versus what part am I applying action or applying force. Okay, so that first number is always going to be the loading phase of the movement. The second number is always going to be the pause and the stretch position. So whenever you load a muscle and it's fully lengthened, that number represents the pause in that position. The third number represents the action. So if it's X, it means push or pull really hard. Sometimes it might be a 1 second pull or 1 second push, to where we want the client to be a little bit more in control and feel the actual muscles being applied in whatever movement that we're training that day. And then the last number is going to be the rest in the shortened position, or the rest. With that, I hope this video helps clarify any confusion you all have had with tempos. As always, feel free to reach out to myself, Coach Tyler, Coach Jesse, if you guys have any other questions, and hope to see you soon.